Welcome back. We are live, really live, like walking the tightrope live. We're at Fadley's at Lexington Market. It is Crab Cake Row. It is a cup of soup or bowl. We're doing it all for the Maryland Food Bank. I'm running late on guests. Poor Torben's going to get up here at some point. Ayana's going to get up here. Beth is waiting her turn along with Allie. For the Maryland Food Bank, all we're asking is that you bring goods for the Maryland Food Bank. We're going to keep it here local for the Grace and Hope mission. We had Karen by a little while ago right down on Gay Street right here in downtown Baltimore. We're going to be at Costas on Tuesday. We're going to be at Coco's Wednesday, State Fair Thursday, and Pappas Friday, 9 until 5. I'm going to be live until I get kicked off the air, until I lose my voice, or until I have to pee. One of those things is going to happen before Friday. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery, our friends at Win Donation. Everybody on the show gets a free lottery ticket. There's one for Allie. There's one for Beth. Ayana and Torben and his group, they're all going to wind up getting free lottery tickets. I hope you win 10 grand. It is the 10x, 10 times the cash. That's what it says 10x, but they want me to call it 10 times the cash. Our friends at Window Nation, 866-90Nation, as well as Jiffy Lube Multi-Care. And inspired by Wise Markets, and people have been bringing food in here in Wise Markets bags, and I am appreciative of that. I've never met Beth, and she is like, you were kind of thrilled to like, you're like, I finally get to meet you, and I'm like, I'm under duress. I'm doing live radio. Stuff's working. I'm texting JR, or Savior and Engineer. Everything's fine now. It's calm. How are you?
So good to meet you in person.
The Greater Baltimore Chamber of Commerce.
That's right.
And this is Allie Javier, who had she said to me, it's J, but it's silent. And I'm like,
no,
I'm
it's
Hispanic.
An H. Yeah, the H.
The H. Javier.
Javier, yep.
Javier. It's a great name.
Thank
if I had
you.
a son, I might name him Javier.
Yeah.
It's my husband's.
Well,
but
that's fine. It's his name. That's
I love
fine.
it.
That's good. You got a good husband. You work with the chamber as well?
I do. I'm the project manager for revitalization in Pikesville.
Well, she said you were the one getting everything done.
Oh, well, that's...
Well, that's
Yes.
the way she led this
Allie's
in.
getting everything done.
Well, look, we're Baltimore positive, but and you're the Greater Baltimore. You used to have a different name for your group, right?
We did, Nestor. We used to be Pikesville Owings Mills. We rebranded during the pandemic because we wanted everyone to feel like they were part of our chamber, and Greater Baltimore fit everybody. So we serve Pikesville, Owings Mills, Reisterstown, and really Northwest Baltimore County.
Nice. Well, I got to know you, and I did a crab cake tour stop at Curio Wellness in Timonium with Wendy. We had Gina Schock from the Go-Go's there, and you like the Go-Go's?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Everybody likes the Go-Go's. But I needed a crab cake that day, and I have a couple of places. There's actually one in the Randallstown area, Crab Queen, beautiful crab cake. I couldn't get her out that day. She's a small business. She couldn't make it. But Sherry Schlichting and Aaron from Clean Cuisine,
Yep.
they're award-winning if you go to Clean Cuisine because I helped them win their award. And I gave them a hard time about that. But I needed a crab cake because I was doing a show at Curious during Christmas, the week before Christmas. And I said, this is the perfect day to feature his crab cake. And this is how sort of, I guess, Chamber of Commerce's work, right?
It is.
Like you run this thing for these businesses. The businesses were all coming together. They were having an event. Karen Sagal, who helped us with this event and was one of your publicity people, she works with us with Planet Fitness and a whole bunch of different people. She said, come out and be a judge, a guest judge. What was that called?
It was called
a tasting?
The Taste.
The Taste. That was called Tasting Taste. So all of these local businesses were out with food, and it was a ticketed item, and the food was great, and I was one of the judges, and I went out and judged the thing. And all these years, what's it been, 5, 6, 7 years? It's been a number of years, right? That I created a relationship with a Owings Mills business.
Right.
That we created a friendship. I am a customer.
Yeah.
I go in and I buy his food. That thing's still the best thing ever. That squash
The squash lasagna.
Oh my God. I tell people all the time, I mean, I love the crab cakes at Fadley's, but if you're not having a crab cake, this is phenomenal. But I wouldn't have known about that had there not been a Chamber of Commerce, had you not dragged me into a room with a bunch of business people. It's helped me do business. That's I guess that's what you were trying to do that night,
It's
right?
all about networking. And, Allie is new to our staff, so she doesn't even know about the Taste. But it was an amazing event.
It was good.
And we haven't had it
was.
since the pandemic.
I ate too much.
Yeah. We would love to go back to it. Nestor, but you mentioned Jerry. Jerry served on our board for a while. He's such a great guy. He supports Baltimore Hunger Project, which brings food to kids on the weekends. He's a great guy. And more to your point, during the pandemic, the Baltimore Business Journal called me, and here's another thing people don't know that chambers do, called me and said, Beth, we need to do a story on local businesses in the Pikesville, Owings Mills area. Who can we cover? And I said, you got to talk to Jerry Schlichting, great guy. They did a full spread on Jerry and follow-up stories of how his business exploded, because he's takeout, right?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
He's
His place,
subscription
it's a different
meals.
kind of business model,
Yes.
right? I mean, I talk about Ekabin. A friend of mine said, let's go to Ekabin and get dinner. I'm like, food's great, but you can't sit down.
Yeah.
It's not the model. You know, it's not what they do.
Yeah.
We're in a different place. And
We
I think
are.
for all businesses trying to figure out post-pandemic, the internet, changes in the city,
Yep.
changes in people's, what they want, I think, after the plague to some degree.
Yeah.
We've just gone through a major change here, and business is hard. I don't need to
It
tell you.
is.
And
It's still
Pikesville, we talk
hard.
about revitalizing.
still
Pikesville's
hard.
different than it used to be, right?
is.
And I'm from Dundalk. I know what downtown Dundalk looks like, and I go to places, and I don't want to be too nice to Don Mull or to Catonsville people, but I'll be in Catonsville on Thursday. There is a downtown area there that looks more vibrant than it did when I was a kid in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. There aren't a lot of those, you know? I mean, I know Nancy Hafford and Towson, and they got a university, so there's certain, I don't want to say they're insulated from, no neighborhood's insulated from crime, problems, business, when the point gets shut down. You know, I mean,
Right.
things happen that are very natural. Where's Pikesville right now, Allie? What's going on? What's your charge in Pikesville?
Well, right now, our latest is an incredible mural project. We are having a mural done, probably our goal is by the end of May, and we've just narrowed it down. We had 55 artist applicants, amazing talent. Beth is serving on the jury, so I gave them a hard job to do.
There's a jury.
There was,
Wow.
yeah, we had a jury of 7 different
That make you the
stakeholders.
judge?
Yeah. And so we've now narrowed it down to 3 semifinalists, and we're working on street art. We're working on getting some safety cameras up in the area, just so that everyone wants to come to Pikesville and stay in Pikesville. And from there, we'll continue to revitalize and continue to promote our area. 'Cause it's
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the community can participate in this, Nestor. That's what's really exciting. So if you want to get involved in Pikesville revitalization, contact the chamber. We'll put you in touch with Allie, and we'll create projects together.
See, like I give Beth free airtime. She comes on. She brings me the key project. I don't have to ask you like, well, what else are you working on, or what are you doing? This is a big thing, and
It is.
And I did a little research on this, prior to. Just what's happened in Pikesville socioeconomically over the last 20, 25 years to, need a revitalization to some degree.
It's tough because it was at one time a very, very vital economy, but things changed. People grew up and they left.
Sure.
We need to make Pikesville, it needs to be a place where people want to stay.
See, I
put
was going
down
to Chili's
roots.
30 years ago for
Right.
the fire.
Right.
The Pikes was there.
The Pikes.
All sorts of delis. My dear friend Jack Brown owned a bonded jewelry exchange. I mean, I had sponsors along that way inside the Beltway.
Yeah.
And this is before, Newtown was built.
Yeah.
Right? This is when Owings Mills, what we think of the Ravens, and we think of that road up off of Red Run, and none of it was woods 30
Right,
years
yeah.
ago. A lot of those folks were settled down more toward the Beltway.
Yeah.
And I think we've had that sort of building flight out in the I
we
remember
have.
when 795 didn't exist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that opened up, and the mall 30, 40 years ago, it's just changed. Listen, my neighborhood in Dundalk, I graduated in 1985. I know I look younger than sexier than that, but I am 55. Everybody I know, 85% of the people that I grew up with have Harford County. When I see them on Facebook, they live in Fallston. That's where the Dundalk people went. The kids of the point,
Yeah.
that left. They did not make a life on Merritt
Right,
Boulevard in Dundalk.
right.
They went elsewhere.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that in all sorts of places where communities that used to think like jobs tight, go get dinner, whatever, empty storefronts. Well, that's bad, but that could be good if the right people move in.
If the right people
Because
move
you
in.
need something for the next. We can't be living in 1978,
No.
right? And Pikesville's not going to live in 1978.
No.
It has to live in 2024.
Yeah.
So part of the mural and part of storefronts and getting it together, what's the heartbeat of what used to be Pikesville Owings Mills Chamber of Commerce?
You know, we're really fortunate. We work very closely with Baltimore County government and the Department of Planning, and we're hiring a placemaking consultant who's going to help us figure out the new heartbeat of Pikesville. What is it? We have a very caring community, but it's an aging community. We want to bring young people back. We want them to have jobs to come back to, so workforce development, certainly a part of that too. Having beautiful things like murals, you want to live near that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So we want to bring that to Pikesville. The Armory, if you've heard about the Pikesville Armory, that is just going to be absolutely huge. The state sold the Armory for like $1 to the county.
They used to have baseball card shows there when I was a kid. The only time I was in the Pikesville Armory was like, got any Louis Aparicio cards?
I used to take my dog. He used to go to training classes there. But it's a great space. And we are right across the street from Lexington Market. Seawall developed Lexington Market. Seawall is the developer for the Pikesville Armory Foundation.
Yeah, I met those folks when they were building.
Yeah, Tebow Mannequin.
Well,
yes.
we're the last ones to get in there with Tebow and everybody into the new Lexington Market. We're still at the old Lexington Market.
Yeah.
But it is it's a period piece in here, isn't it?
Yes, it's gorgeous.
I keep thinking...
It's because it's that old Baltimore feel.
So I've done 3 shows here the last 6-7 months where I thought it was the last one. Like, I thought, today's the last day, we're going to be in the new market. And I thought the whole time, doing February 5th today, we're not in the new market. I sort of like one more time in here. They brought me one more fish sandwich and crab cake. But when things do change and they get better, as you're seeing here at Lexington Market, it's a beautiful thing. Revitalization's not a bad word. It doesn't mean we're dead. It means we're going to be better. It means we're still here, but we're changing things. We're putting new facing on things. How long have you been with the Greater Baltimore Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, I am brand new to the job. I started at the end of last year. So I started in November.
End of last year was like 6 weeks ago.
You better believe it.
Fresh.
I started in November. I'm very fresh.
Why'd you take this gig?
What?
Why'd you take this gig?
Why did I take this gig? I have a passion about community. I live here in the city, and I love our community, and I want to be able to bring that sense of community that I feel in my heart when I'm outside at the playground with my kids and with my friends that live around me. I want to bring that sense of community to Pikesville and help the residents of Pikesville achieve their goals with these projects that they see in their community that they want to get done.
So when's this mural getting voted on with judge and jury?
Next month, I think the date is March 6th. We're choosing our final artist, and then it's slated to be done by May 30. Do
you pick the actual art, or do you just pick the artist, and the artist does what they want?
A little bit of both. Right now we're seeking community input, so we have a survey out online in a variety of Facebook locations for community, for residents of Pikesville to fill out, tell us what they want to see on the mural. The artists, the 3 semifinalists, will come up with a design, and then we have our judge of our 7 jurors who will pick the design that they see fit for Pikesville.
I wouldn't want to be on that. I mean, that's too much pressure, on that committee. I had enough pressure being your taste judge.
Yeah. We got to bring you back. The
you
whole event is for you. Yeah, we'll have the whole event just to have you.
Here's what, Jerry, I know you're listening. You're ineligible to win. Previous winners, I got to find a new joint up in Pikesville and Owings Mills. I'll get back up there, and I'll bring the crab cake tour up your way one day, all right? We'll work it out with the chamber.
Awesome.
How about that?
We'd love that.
All right, Beth Rheingold here. Allie Javier.
Thank you so
with
much.
With a J, not an H, right?
Yes, Javier with the J.
But pronounced with an H.
Yes.
I told her I was Hispanic. I can get my H's and J's. I can roll my R's if I
that
want to.
was good.
Yeah, you like that.
So
Yeah, girls all
good.
like that. That's good. The Maryland Lottery's putting us out on the road. Did you guys?
I got one.
You're only allowed to get one.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Don't put the lucky one on the ground.
I lost mine. Can I have another?
You're holding it.
I know.
Everybody plays that game around here. We're at Fadley's. It's all brought to you by Maryland Lottery in conjunction with Window Nation. I didn't even put the funny hat on in a while. 866-90 Nation. They do doors. They're going to do doors for me. They did windows for me a year and a half. Did I say windows? Windows for me a year and a half ago. I'm going to step out, take a break. We're a little behind. Torben's looking at me. Ayana's looking at me. I swear I'll get you in. I promise you. Where did he go? He left. Did he disappear? Dude's been ducking me, I'm telling you right now. Back for more. WNST, Baltimore Positive. It's Crab Cake Row, a cup of Super Bowl. We're at Fadley's.